Bryce, we're supposed to have Reagan on here. She's been a great audience member.
Yeah, but she sucks at actually speaking in front of people.
We tried it, and it was a mumble fest.
It was a terrible take.
It was a terrible take. Listen, it was as worse as Graham's leg shake on the podcast. That is, ooh. And yeah, he does this thing with his arms too, like
it's like caffeine withdrawals.
Caffeine withdrawal. Yeah, dude, it probably is with Graham, dude. He is a caffeine fiend, bro. Fiend.
That's why he's actually at rehab right now. That's why he's not going to be on.
That's why he's not on here. So we're sending him the video to edit. He has to do the hard work now. Give G the night off. Hey, we appreciate you guys for click and play. You guys are the OGs of the Hills Youth Podcast. In this episode, Bryce, come on, what is this episode? Special or what?
This episode is crazy, guys. It's our first Zoom meeting podcast.
Zoom. Makes my heart.
I know. I haven't done a Zoom meeting since I was in 8th grade during COVID.
Remember the VidCo?
Yeah.
Is that funny, Reagan? Is that funny when people were locked in their rooms?
For years.
Oh, dang.
For years, I was locked up.
That's what it felt like, bro. Dude. Just like
Graham in rehab.
He's escaped there. What the heck?
But on this podcast, you got me, the greatest host of them all. Then you got Vaughn, who's a so-so youth pastor.
Youth pastor.
And certainly a father. And we've got...
He is the father.
And we've got G.
That's a shocker. G's back on the podcast.
G's back on the podcast.
I think he says like 10 words in this episode, so it's special. It's gonna be good.
I know. And 3 of them are in Spanish.
Well, hey, enjoy this video.
But anyway, we're doing this stuff. My mom's telling the lady how expensive my suit is. And then the lady looks at me and she's like, well, I hope you have a good job lined up. And my mom is like, yeah, he's joining the military. And this lady looks at my mom and my mom looks at this lady. And the lady's like, well, what an honorable thing. And then she freaking starts crying. And my mom starts crying. And they're just crying. I'm standing there with my credit card like, can I pay?
Can I purchase this, please?
Can I purchase this, please, so we can get out of here? Random lady. And my mom's just crying. And the lady grabs my mom's hand and she's like, you raised such an amazing young man. I don't know you.
Well, hey, we got David Shupe on the podcast, and we're very excited about this one. For those that don't know David Shupe is an amazing man of God. He's a great leader. He was a huge part of our Hills Youth Ministry in Farmington. He has just an amazing family that he is leading, and a new journey for him, a new season with his family currently, and with marriage, and with life and jobs and all those things. We've had the honor to spend life with David Shupe, and now he's in the hottest place on the planet, well, to me, when I go out there, Arizona. That's why we were talking about some of the Diamondbacks and Cardinals. But everybody give it up for David Shupe. Come on, somebody. This is going to be a good one. We're excited. We're excited. And he's on Zoom. This is our first Zoom. I feel like Pat McAfee right now, but it's gonna be the less no cussing on this one. So we had to
don't
send,
have to bleep anything out.
Yeah, we had to send Shupe an NDA and say we got to keep the vulgarity down. That's something at Hills Youth we had to say, bro. In your group, you got to stop using words like hell. Can't say that. It's in the Bible. But yeah, dude. Hey, so big start off here. You have a church in Farmington, New Mexico, and getting plugged in at a church. I was talking to Noah Stewart, one of our students, and he was talking about finding community, getting plugged in. For you were at Hills Church, and then you go to Arizona, which is your home state, right?
That's correct. I went to high school here, spent my childhood here, but then honestly, from 2007 till just now when I moved back, I was in New Mexico, Colorado area. So I spent a good my whole adult life up there in the Four Corners. And so it was just opportunity came, and I just felt God led me down here.
So moving back, did it feel like it was harder to move back because you didn't have a connection at this point of your life?
It was harder. The thing that made it hardest for me to move was, number one, leaving the church community. Mm-hmm. Number two, the sports community, because you guys know Farmington is really tight knit in its sports, and especially baseball, softball, and that's what made it hard to leave. And but once I got down here, settled in, I took a month off of work
Mm.
and kind of reset and was church hunting, and it took me a little bit to find where I felt like God wanted me and needed me at, and finally found that. So it's been good.
What clicks for you? You're looking for a church and you're church hunting. What clicked where it's like that? This is the place. What were some of the variables you were looking for as somebody going like, I'm church hunting? What is that? What does church hunting look like?
For me, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's like it's just it's an inner feeling. I praying with God and like, where do you want me? Where do you need me? And just feeling that tug, I guess you would. And not saying that the other churches weren't amazing, because they were, but I just didn't feel that tug to be there. And during that process, my sister-in-law had a girl that she wanted to introduce me to.
Oh, here it is, boys. It's always it's always what it is.
But she had a church, and I'll be honest with you, when Kaylee and I went there for the first time, like I didn't meet
And Kayla's your daughter.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. And Kayla, so not to get confused, my now wife, we actually didn't talk or anything at church. So it was nice because I was able to see what the church was about without that distraction. And when I got there, it really reminded me of back home at Hills, because I had probably 20, 30 people come up to me and Kaylee loving on us and, hey, how are you guys? My name's so-and-so. They're big on name recognition. They encourage you to remember people's names, so that it's important to remember these people's names. And so it's big for me. I just felt it that first day. And then as I started getting plugged in, started to get Kaylee involved with the youth there a little bit, and really was a small program. Really wasn't much of a youth program. It's definitely a smaller youth program than what I was used to. And I just felt like that's where God wanted me to be. And then after that, I mean, I went there. Kayla and I didn't sit together or let it be known that we were even talking until Easter Sunday. So
Praise the
we
Lord,
kept that
dude.
very private. So,
Well, I love that, because even through a connection with your sister, right? You said your sister connecting you to that, but you found your footing first, and I think that's important to know, like finding your footing, because a lot of people do come to church because of friends or relationships, and then they bounce like a lot of the time, and that's one of the things I've talked to youth was, okay, so if you come to church for youth, and then you're coming for a while, and then you're like, I want to start talking about Jesus more, and then all of a sudden like things go wrong. And you just leave because the roots were founded on like a relationship, or like I got to avoid this person, I had to find a completely different church. You're an adult, but I still think that adults kind of play that game too. Like, I'm leaving because we're broken up, or I don't want to see your face. I'm going to go to a completely different church. But what was really interesting at your wedding, something that stood out to me was, first of all, your lead pastor is like a rock star dude. He has the coolest haircut of all time. Just a cool dude. And
Our pastor's bald.
Shupe, say hi to Pastor Matt.
What's up, Matt?
How do you know? How do you know that's what he meant by bald? So what was really cool was your whole church was there supporting you. And how long you been connected to this church for? How many years?
A year.
A year?
Just over a year. But yeah, by the time we had our wedding, it was just over a year.
And dude, their church was supporting them. Who was the gentleman? He reminded me of Aaron a little bit. Like, he was such a go-getter. His kids were there. His wife was helping. They were helping with like the coffee and hot chocolate.
Oh, are you talking about Paul? Was he wearing all black?
Yes, dude.
Why does it remind you of Aaron?
Like,
is it ethnicity?
Wow, you racist.
I was hoping he wouldn't say that and throw it, but he like
Pablo.
Oh my god! So because he remembered, because he had his kids plugged in, and he was just like, he was like, what could I do? How could I support? He was available for you the whole night to help the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And I was like, man, having people like that, and you're there for plugging in that community for just a year, and that's the church, man. It was so cool to see that. I was so happy for you.
We took a church photo, and I think we counted over 55 to 60 members of our church that came out to support us.
Come on.
It was amazing.
Come on, dude. Like
So,
that really stood out to me, and I think that's beautiful, and that's what the church looks like.
It is. And, we've gotten, if you guys are ever bored for an hour at night, you guys could relive that with me. But it's out on YouTube right now. And the guy that shot our film, or did the videography, Chris, he actually lives up there in Aurora, or I think Aurora, Denver area.
Mm-hmm.
He was the husband of one of my wife's bridesmaids, and he did it all for free. But it just kind of captured everything that we missed, and just to see how much fun everybody had. And that was our goal. Like we're known within our youth group as the fun people, and so we wanted those games. We wanted just everybody to have a good time and connect. And
dude, Shupe tried getting me fired on the rehearsal. I get this Bluetooth speaker, and I roll it out. And
hey, that was Pablo's.
Yeah, that was Pablo's, right? Dude, you would have been so mad, like, because it was the Bluetooth was barely, like, it was choppy. So when they're doing the music, and one of the people were like, "Hey, Shupe, we just want to help you. Like, is this what this guy's bringing to the wedding? Because like this is not good." And I'm like, "Thanks." I'm like the Temu DJ Shupe brought out from New Mexico, dude. I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Dang it, dude."
By the way, I want to make sure everybody knows his name is Paul. I just felt like calling him Pablo.
Oh, listen, he's gonna watch this, and now Pablo. So you're giving me a hard time for ethnicity, but he drops the Pablo card. Like that's like
he could do that though.
Like, golly.
Everybody
from you to him.
Looking at Bryce, you would never know that he could be a Pablo.
I could. No. I've actually got a story about this. So, my dad's family, right?
Juanito.
They're Catholic.
Oh.
They like Spanish Catholic. Like somehow I have a new cousin every freaking time I go over there. A 20-year-old cousin that I've never met, but they met me. They met me when I was like little. They're like, "Oh, mijito, do you remember me?" I'm like, "Get away from me." Well,
Get away from me.
Well, my nana, God bless her soul, she's dead now, but God bless her soul. She told my parents when my mom and my dad told her that they were pregnant with me. My nana told them she wanted my name to be Juan Diego Sandoval.
Dude, that would have been so good, bro.
Could you imagine me?
How much better you would be?
I have blue eyes. I don't think I could pass as a Juan.
Hey, Juan Diego, come here. Juan Diego.
So that's just a bit about my family.
What's it? On that topic, I hate Taco Bell. Like, I can't stand Taco Bell. Like,
What's wrong with Taco
Because
Bell?
all you can have is the hard
We-
tacos.
we-
That's it. You can't have anything
true.
else. You can't have the burritos.
I'm gluten-free, Shupe.
I gave our youth leader last night a hard time because we had a guys and girls night last night. We shared our testimonies with the guys, and he shows up with Taco Bell, and the girls showed up they offered
King.
us carnita tacos.
Oh.
Like, legit, you had Taco Bell and they had legit carnita tacos?
Well, no, she fed the girls chicken fingers and taquitos or whatever. But she had leftover carnita tacos that she gave to the prayer group because he said no. I'm like, really?
Oh,
Legit carnita tacos for Taco Bell.
dude. That's when you go, okay, I'll go to the kids ministry because if you're not going to, or the prayer team, because they know what's going on if you're not going to pull your weight
The
over
kids
here.
ministry
Hey.
knows how to feed their.
But check this out, bro. They're all coming over to my house for Memorial Weekend for a
Ooh,
barbecue.
you about to smoke some stuff up, bro? Come
Are you
on.
Yeah,
making the bacon
Oh,
Oreo
yeah, the
things?
Oreo.
Oh,
I am going to.
Yeah.
I am going to.
dude, the bacon Oreos.
Bacon wrapped Oreos.
I was
Yeah.
so freaked out the first time you gave that to me. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I honestly,
What is this?
Shoot, that was the only good thing about you was the food you would bring. So when you left, it was like, we can lose that, but the food. No, I'm kidding, Shoot. Chill out.
Vaughn doesn't cook anymore, so I don't
I
know
do
when the last
cook.
time he did ribs.
Dude, here's my problem. I'm in a rut. I cook brats every Sunday, Shoot. Like that's like my go-to.
Yep,
Like, do you have a
brats
go-to
every
thing
Sunday.
that you make? Is there something like you're like, I make this all the time?
Man, it used to be. I got a good spaghetti sauce that I make,
Ooh,
but we've been trying to
don't say it. Don't say
watch
it.
what we. Yeah, we've been trying to change our habits, eat a little better, and it's been good. My wife's been happy, and we've been changing. It's just trying to go more whole foods and stuff like that. So haven't had like nothing processed. So we've been trying to stay away from a lot of processed foods, but I still
Bro,
we still eat good. We love eating out. Me and my wife are both foodies. So
yeah, I've seen you at a restaurant on all your photos that you post on social media. Dude, how's the whole food diet going, bro?
It's whole.
I love his perspective on life.
So no, it's good. Yeah, spaghetti was my go-to. I love making Italian food, but I love Mexican food. I'll tell you a little funny story. So Paul, his family, one of the kids is part of my life group, and we got really close with that family. But they threw a little get together for our wedding or something. I forgot what it was something to do with our wedding. I can't remember, but we're gonna cook a whole bunch of Mexican food, and I told them that I was going to bring ceviche, and they looked at me like, "What?" They're like,
"Gringo making
white
ceviche?"
People, yeah, like white people usually bring the chips. I'm like,
and it's Doritos,
like,
not even the tortilla.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'll bring ceviche. And what's cool about living down here is it's a strong culture down here. So we have like, imagine the size of a Walmart supercenter, but it's a Mexican store. So I walk in there, and I'm one of the only white dudes in there, but I'm over there buying all the stuff, fresh, and I made it up and couldn't wait to get there next day. And I was like, all right, what do you guys think about it? And they're like, they kind of looked at me like, you made this?
Dude.
So it was pretty cool. They loved it, man.
You went to that place and then you went to Sprouts afterwards. You had to balance it out.
Dude, I speaking of Sprouts, there's a Trader Joe's, right?
Oh,
Trader
dude.
Joe's.
I love Trader Joe's.
Come on, somebody.
Hey, the peanut butter cups.
JoJo's?
I didn't know what Trader Joe's was. I thought it was a truck stop.
Stop it.
Yes. And I just figured it out what Trader Joe's was because our whole church loves Trader Joe's. So we always get their cookies.
Bring one out to Farmington.
That's for real.
We need to. Hey, guess what? We're getting a Buc-ee's.
A Buc-ee's?
Wait.
Yeah,
like
they're opening.
2026, though.
Wait, Phoenix or Arizona doesn't have a Buc-ee's right now?
Yeah, Goodyear. They're going to have the largest Buc-ee's.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Is there a Buc-ee's here in New
Yeah.
Mexico?
No, there's one in Denver though, and I never knew that for like the longest time.
I've never been to a
We trying to go to Buc-ee's after this?
Yeah.
Dude, buck that, bro. But here's the thing. That's wild.
Graham, you got this one.
Speak on the food cycle here. I would always go to when Denver, Phoenix, Austin. When I went to Austin, Texas, that was my first In-N-Out experience like 5 years ago. And I ate In-N-Out so much that I was so sick. And I don't care because it was so good. I got burnt out. I went to Denver and I ate 2 double-doubles. I had to do lettuce wrap because I'm gluten-free. But I ate them so fast that I'm grossed out from In-N-Out now. And I'm kind of upset by it.
I don't like In-N-Out anymore.
I've never had In-N-Out.
Maybe because we have too much of it. Because like at one time it was like it's so good, but the Neapolitan shake, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
I heard Albuquerque's getting In-N-Out.
Yeah, like
In like 2028.
Oh, yeah.
G's gonna be dead by then. The cartel's gonna take him.
No,
and he's
I'm
done.
gonna be graduating.
No,
by
he's
then.
going to be deported.
This podcast is a little unhinged sometimes.
You want-
Stupid.
We need to
okay,
get
okay.
rid of him.
You want to hear something I'm getting sick of now?
You?
Oh, boy.
Canes.
Yeah, Canes is so
You
overrated.
take that
dude.
back.
Every
Oh.
time we go to Albuquerque for baseball, that's the only
Oh.
place we stop. Canes.
I don't like Canes either. Like
shut
I've
your
only eaten
mouth.
there a couple times.
Canes is great.
Oh, Bryce.
Canes is way better than Chick-fil-A.
And then
I
you're,
said
you're
it.
gonna go to the military and be like,
Oh.
I don't like Canes no more.
Oh, are we don't get on that topic of Chick-fil-A versus like Popeyes?
Oh,
Okay.
well, Popeyes sucks anyway.
Popeyes
but,
is
No, it
Yeah, it
doesn't.
does.
No, it does
Bob-
not. No, it does
Vaughn-
not. That's
Vaughn,
crazy.
Name one time you went to a Popeyes in Farmington.
So Jeff took me. Pastor
Yo.
Jeff took me there
Oh, he
when
told
it
me
first
about
opened.
this.
And I was very disappointed, and he was so bummed.
I know. He was like, "This isn't how it was supposed to be. It's the people working here." Jeff, man,
Yeah.
Jeff's a stud, dude. He's been crushing it with groups, dude. He's been doing amazing things,
yeah.
bro. Hey, when are we gonna get your group down here for Rush Conference, dude? We gotta get your group. Oh, you're gonna
man.
Glorieta.
But I want to work it out. See if we could get him up there.
Huge.
If we could time it right next year. But yeah, we got a big trip planned. They used to go to Point Loma in
Okay.
San Diego. They've been going there with a they attach themselves to Christ Church in Gilbert, and so they go as part of them. And this year they decide to change it all up, and because Point Loma is good, but I mean, it's a college campus, and if you're not doing a planned activity, there's really nothing to do. So they decided to change it up, and we're heading to Glorieta actually June 6th through the 10th. We'll be heading there. So.
Oh, sweet! You're going to be going as well to be a leader.
Yeah. My wife and I and our youth leader are going. His wife was supposed to go, but she's pregnant right now, and that's kind of kicking her butt. So
yeah, that's kind of selfish.
She may not be going. So,
dude, I think that's so cool, man. When you have a spouse that you guys serve along with each other side by side, you get into it with each other with the youth, and you're hanging out and you're serving and you're on the same page. That's the beauty about couples serving together. I think that's phenomenal. And did I say something funny about that?
Oh, nothing.
Bryce is laughing at me. I'm so insecure around these guys that
What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
What did I do? What did I do? No, but I think that's awesome, dude. That's incredible that you guys served together. Was she working at the church when you went there, or was she just a volunteer?
Yeah, she's still just a volunteer, and she's been volunteering, but she grew up in ministry. Her dad's a pastor, a current pastor here at a church, and
she's a PK.
She grew up. Yeah, she is. She grew up very fundamentalist Baptist, and she has been at this church now for 6 years. Yeah, this used to be a church plant, and she's been there since the beginning. Back when they were in they would rent out a comedy center on Sundays.
That's crazy.
And that's where they would do church. And now they have a whole campus now. But she served in Europe. She lived in Europe for over 10 years doing ministry. She's been all over. So it's just in her heart. It's in her DNA. And, she's always wanted to get back into youth. And it's after we got married and everything. So we got married in July of last year, actually. But we waited to have our wedding and, kind of kept it on the DL. But we started showing interest, like, hey, we want to help out the youth. And youth leader at the time, he didn't really take us serious, because you get a lot of people that, hey, we want to help out, and they help out for a little bit, and then it just doesn't work out. So I think after we took him to dinner, and we were like, hey, we're serious. And my wife has been wanting to get back into youth ministry. So once I knew we were serious, we kind of jumped in, as we always do, head first. And here we are. We're doing all the activities this year, and we kind of work well with our youth leader now. We work hand in hand, and really trying to progress this thing.
Bryce said something interesting. You said you're probably one of the, since I've been here, one of the, if only, of course, a couple other people, but a tenured senior, like a youth. So having leaders like you and youth like Bryce that have been like, they've seen it all from middle school into high school.
Yeah. So like you're seeing, I'm thinking we've got like 3 seniors now who have been like in this ministry since middle school and have gone all the way through high school to senior year without like, well, I mean,
we're not counting Maddie Brown. She's not in that pocket.
Okay, 2. Well, Kyle left a little bit, but Kyle's back now.
1. It's just Bryce, guys.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm better.
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I've seen
I have a problem, but yeah, no.
It's called a love for Jesus. It's not a problem.
Come on, Shupe. Yeah, G, do you hear this, bro? You just got checked. Why are you nervous, dude?
I'm not nervous. Leave me alone. You guys judge so hard.
No, I'll be honest. I've tried so hard to bring what I learned at Hills and trying to implement it in. There's certain things we can do right now, and there's certain things we can't do. So, I mean, our youth group 16 on a really good day, but we have a core of about 10 right now.
Wow.
And we're literally starting from the ground up and just kind of implementing things and bringing what I learned from back home, and getting you and Neil connected. It's been huge. And
yeah, that's cool.
It's just, what you guys are doing there is just a beautiful thing. I love seeing the Instagram and seeing 90 plus kids. I think last week or the week before, you guys hit over 100 on a middle school night or something like that.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
Yeah,
so
a lot of high school.
And it's not just a number. It's that counts for the kids being bold in their faith and inviting other kids. And that's what we're really trying to drive here is these kids taking ownership of the youth program. So.
You said a testimony night. How are you personally driving youth with your testimony? What was your end goal with your testimony? Like at the end of it, where it was like, now youth, I want you to really take this point, and this could change your life forever. Do you have that point?
Man, for me, yeah. So the one point that I really try to drive across with anyone I talk to is I try to be as real as I can with them and show them that God took this broken person that went through all these trials as a kid in their age and everything I had to go through. And I don't even know if I fully told anybody back home my whole testimony. It's just my end goal is to say, look, this is what I went through, but look what God did. Like, God's love and just leaning on him is so worth it to start now. Don't wait. Mm-hmm. Don't be stubborn. Don't think you could go blaze your own trail because we can't do this life alone. I already tried, and it took me 31 years to, realize that. And that my goal is to just be there and mentor and support these kids to where that gap from like by the time they become a senior in high school and they graduate, that gap of school to real world, it's a small little bridge that they got to get across, that they can hopefully still grasp onto God and not the worldly things.
Ooh, I love that. And as a senior, Bryce, how do you grasping on to the godly things and not the worldly things?
Okay, so
then we'll get G on that. So we'll give you time, G. We know that you're processing.
Yeah, there's nothing going on behind those eyes. So
what did I
basically, like over the past year and a half, I think in the last year and a half, I've done almost 2 years at this point. I've done probably the most growing spiritually that I've ever done.
Via circumstances in life, or you had you're dating somebody,
well,
so
I was
does that add to it?
Started dating someone, but this started before I dated Taylor.
Oh, okay.
There was just some stuff that went down in the fall of 2023.
Got you.
And it was really like a kick in the face because I was like, because I had kind of been coasting through my faith and all this stuff. And I wasn't really where I needed to be. Like, I was still living and doing worldly things when I shouldn't have been.
Tell everybody on the podcast what is a worldly thing that you did. I'm just playing.
Oh, okay, cool. Whatever. I was watching bad things.
PG-13 movies is what he's referring to. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Anyway. But I really noted, I figured out that and there was just some stuff going on at school too. Like, I was living, I was doing worldly things, but I was also living for God. So it was kind of like a weird mix of the two where people were just like, what are you? And I was like, I honestly don't know. So after I went through some really big issues, some self-struggles with my addictions, as well as with friendships and other relationships, I really started diving deeper into my word, which was starting to get more into the Bible than I was, because I had been getting into my Bible once a week on Sundays, maybe twice if I wanted to on Wednesdays.
And you're not building an actual relationship if it's just one or two times.
Yeah. So then I started reading and praying more because I was kind of like you, Shupe. I didn't ask for help from anybody, including God. I was like, I can do this on my own. And so eventually I figured out I can't do that. Needed some help. Started asking God for help.
How though? What's the hole in that story? What individual or what thing said I can't do this on my own? I need to get out of my comfort zone and reach out for help.
So I realized that I needed help from my family and my friends who I would kind of push into the side. Me and my mom had really been struggling relationship wise because I was pushing her away. And she was like, stop, you're my oldest. What's going on? You're supposed to love me forever. And I'm like, no, I don't. So basically, there was that. I was pushing my mom away, and she was just like, "Fine, do whatever you want to do."
Ooh.
And eventually, we just had to have a heart-to-heart, and
Was that a hard conversation?
that was a really hard conversation.
Because it's humility, or
was-
you're
it
talking to your
was-
mom
it
about
was-
a problem?
Humiliating because
Oh.
she figured it out,
Oh,
and then heartbreaking because I had to talk to my mom about like what I was doing behind closed doors,
yeah, I hear you.
what I was thinking, and all that stuff, and then eventually having to ask my mom for help. So, and then just connecting with her on an emotional basis over that. And over my year of, over this past year, like, even at school, like, I realized, like, I don't need to put up this image of, like, I don't care anymore. Like, I started being more myself at school. I started being goofy and making jokes and doing all that stuff. And then at home and then at church, like, taking a break from some friendships and focusing on other ones, and then going back and like rebuilding those friendships from the ground up. And now those friendships are super strong and all that stuff.
So when we talk about there's a season for friends and time,
Yeah.
you had to regroup.
Yeah, I had to regroup from some friendships just because there was some toxic stuff going on. Some people thought they were right. I thought I was right. So there was just a whole bunch of crap that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really had to reflect on my life and realize that not everything, like, nothing is about the world. I don't have to put up this mask about it. It was really ironic because we went through a series called Masks about that time. Or it was the year, yeah, about that time.
It was in, frame of that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, I have lived with a mask this entire time. And started being more open about myself at church, start diving deeper into the word, really opening up to life group guys, because I hadn't really done that. I was like talking to my friends in life group, and then I went to Chad, and Chad was like helping me meet all my life group guys. Did that. It was really good for me at the time. And then focusing on that stuff, and also at home, like me and my mom, our relationship grew, and now we're probably on the best terms that like we have been since I was, a little kid before I could sass her. But basically, I just realized that I can't be living for the world and living for God at the same time.
It's not. Nope.
Like,
It's crazy is that I remember that fall of 23 like it was yesterday, and I gotta say, Bryce, like, watching you grow over the last couple of years has been so cool to watch. Like, seeing all of your accomplishments. Do you remember that conversation we had at Rush?
yeah, that was like at the very beginning of the breakdown, where I was like, that was like,
I remember your sister coming up to me and she was just in tears. Like,
it was because it was because I was getting in my own head about this stuff because I was feeling self-conscious about what I was doing. And then I was like, oh, well, my friends are like gonna outgrow me and whatever. And I started feeling real down about myself. And so then me and my mom got in a big old fight that day. And so I drove Ashlyn up to Tico Time, and I was just really going through it. And then you prayed with me, and I felt really calm, at ease. And then about a week later, that's when I had to have a hard conversation with my mom. And that's when.
Just proud of you, bro.
Well,
You've grown a lot, and love seeing the young man that you're becoming. It's pretty awesome to see, and I'll tell you right now, your little testimony that you just shared is going to help a teen that's currently in my life group that's struggling with what you used to struggle with.
Well, thank you.
So
yeah, like you can't just. I had to figure out that I can't be three different people. I can't be a different person with my mom, with my family. I can't be and also be a different person at school and be a different person at youth. I had to be the
That's
same
true,
person,
man.
and all three of those people had to live for God at the same time. I couldn't be the sad, moody brother at home. I couldn't be the hard ass at school who was just so focused on, getting my work done that I wasn't building the friendships up that I needed to. And then I couldn't be the liar at church.
Wow.
So I had to live for God, and I can't, even now as a senior, there are so many things going on right now. There's graduation, there's all that stuff. I'm leaving in a couple months, and I realize now that, like, that stuff's sad. That stuff is sad. And, like, yeah, I'm going to be sad to leave. But that's just one chapter. This is the closing of one chapter so another one can open. And just what miracles is God going to put into my life at that point? Because you can't be focused on you can't just be focused on, like, the bad stuff in your life. You got to be thinking about what is God doing? What is God working for in my life?
Yeah, how could you focus on I talked about it with some of our students the other day. We're talking about if you can't share God, then you haven't really experienced God, because if you experience God, you're going to want everything and anything to know about what's been so transforming in your life. And none of it directs people to go, look at all the stuff that you've done wrong and let it have power over you. But that is such a word. And talking about Shupe's testimony, did you have someone in your life, Shupe, that you have that's called you higher and that's kind of been like a huge advocate for, like, dude, have a breakthrough moment? And do you remember what their phrase was? Do you have a mentor that has like a phrase like that he tells you every single time, like, you screw it up? He's like, dude, this.
So, man, it was before I came to Hills. It was actually my buddy Jovi Hill. I'm sure Bryce knows his son Jace.
Yeah,
I think. But I worked with him. Our company got bought out, and I was probably at one of my lowest points. I wasn't in church yet, and God put me in this guy's group, and we created this bond and this friendship to where he invited me to church, and we had a lot of heart-to-heart conversations, real conversations, and, you know, really steered me back. And I realized that I needed a relationship with God. And, you know, he's one of the guys. Like, I don't think you always have that one friend, but I can tell you right now, I could call him, I could call Aaron, I could call Vaughn, I could call Matt, I could call Dion, I could call a number of guys.
Yeah.
And if I need anything, or if I need to talk to them, you need a community in this life. And if you don't have that community, you just don't feel all alone. You know, as most of you know, like, went through a divorce, and, you know, I felt like, you know, I never turned away from God. And that was because of the support of men that I had around me. And for that, my love for God just continued to grow, because it's when you realize that God never leaves you, you leave God. But no matter what you're doing, like, our pastor at a sermon the other day had a good illustration. You know, it's like, you know, some people think that they screw up so much that God leaves them, and it's not true. God is right there with you through all of your screw ups. It's us that leave God. And when you realize that, it's a powerful thing.
And I know one of the hardest calls that you had to make was to me. And I remember that call. Yeah. I remember that call like it was yesterday, dude. I was on a run, and it was literally raining. And I was like, I'm going to pull off, and I'm going to take this call, because I rarely take calls on runs too. But like when Shupe calls, like when people in my life that are like plugged in, when they call, I try to take that call. I'm not saying that to boast on the camera, like, because I couldn't, but like I would have been devastated if I missed that call, because you needed someone to talk to in that time, and you were going through it. And but the way you were handling it, because you were saying, of course, you're in those moments and you're saying everything that, like, because everything, the weight of the world's falling. So we have moments of like, this is done. Like I'm throwing in it. And this is not what you said verbatim, but like in our toughest moments, we say everything negative because we're feeling negative, right? Yeah. But there was this sense that him still was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to do what's godly. I'm going to seek out wisdom and do my very stinking best that I can. But I'm going to trust that God's going to have an outcome that I don't. But that, dude, the growing, someone said, like, I wish there was like a YouTube tutorial instead of going through something that they could just show me how to get through it right now. But sometimes it's like, no, sucker, you're going to be faithful. You're going to trust me. Because things in life aren't always thrown at us from God. And we got to trust him and endure and put into practice everything we've learned in church. And, man, but where you're at now, just seeing the fruit, I'm listening to you guys talk. I'm listening to you on this podcast, and I'm just seeing a man has an amazing family, that's healthy, that God's working through in a youth group. You're training up 10 core kids, 16 on certain nights. And you just brought up a kid that can have, like, man, Bryce, that testimony, you're thinking of others. That is, dude, there's breakthrough in your life. And I'm so thankful that your church has people like you and your daughter present there. And, man, she's grown leaps and bounds, dude. She's amazing, bro. Like, she's just full of light. I don't know where she gets it from, not you, but, like, she is just, she's a goofball. And she embraces, like, who she is. And I say that in a way of, like, that is just childlike faith that she has, but she sees that from her dad. And it's a beautiful thing, bro. And I think people like G are getting to spend time with G in the those moments that you spend time with G in the clubhouse at Connie Mack transform this kid's life. Like, he's gonna remember those moments and those conversations you guys have and the free food that you guys always get. I always hear about the free food you guys have, like Jimmy John's or but how is baseball and people in those moments, G, transformed your life? Being a kid, but you get to hang out with all of these adults that love baseball and chop it up. Like, that's been transforming for your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why is the game of baseball so important to you? And why is Connie Mack and people like meeting like Shupe and leaders in your life in that baseball world? Because they're the same mindset. They think the same as you. Is that why? Like, what about these people in that atmosphere?
I feel like one of the biggest ones is like the sense of community, because we've all worked towards like a common goal. Like, it's been baseball, but I feel like we all have like the same mentality, but we all, like, no matter what level we're at, like in baseball or like in life in general, I feel like everybody that I've met, like, they've always loved on me or I've loved on them, you know? And I feel like over time, I like meeting new people every year. Cause like with Connie Mack, it's always new guys every year. You're meeting newer players every year. And like, there's a couple years I'll connect with a couple guys, but I always have like a couple teams and coaches that I know that I always talk to every year. And like that I still talk to like outside of Connie Mack.
That's cool.
And I feel like that's probably been one of like the main things that I look forward to in the summer and Rush Conference, but Connie Mack.
Gee, are you a person that, tell us a little about you. Are you a person that, like, those having relationships like that are super important to you? You don't like surface level. You like real. Like, if the person's not real, you're not going to connect much with that person.
Yeah. I don't know. I connect more with people that, like, who want to get in depth, I guess. Like,
and who want to get to know you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're good at looking at the fake in people and being like, you're a snake, dude. I don't like you very much. You're a very passionate kid. That's something that's interesting about you. Do you wear your emotions on your sleeve? So if you get hurt, you tend to, do you shut down, or like, how do you manage emotions? And be real. If you're not good at managing emotions,
honestly,
let's talk about it.
I just think about them. I try not to wear it, but I think about it, and then people know that I'm thinking about it because I seem down. But I think mostly I just think about my emotions. I don't like express them, I guess you would say.
Are you an overthinker?
Yeah, 100%.
All the overthinkers out there. Come on, are you an overthinker? Yeah, see, like, is that, what do you overthink because what people think about you?
No.
You don't care what people think about you? Are you good about that?
I don't really care.
Ooh, okay.
To think about me.
Okay, fair enough. I was consumed by that in high school. I've been having these revelations lately. Like, I wake up in the middle of the night and go, what an idiot, dude. Why did I do that?
You guys ever like do that? Like, you guys ever like wake up from a dream and you're like, wow, I was a stupid kid and just physically crazy?
Yeah, I woke up from a dream. I was making out with my wife, and I wake up and I'm like, dang it, dude. It was my dog. You know? He was licking my face. Oh, man, that would be terrible, bro. Shout out Marley. This thing is going crazy. But like, so you an overthinker though, in the sense of relationships with people, like, cause do they care about me, or why do you overthink relationships or those emotions?
Honestly, I just like personally, the person I am, I want to be like on good terms almost most of the time or all the time.
That's near impossible, G, to be on good terms with everybody.
I know, not like with, I guess, like my day-to-day people, like that I talk to day-to-day, because there's like few people that I do. And I feel like at times when like things aren't good or they seem not to be good, I overthink it when I shouldn't be. And I feel like that's what consumes my mind a lot.
Shoot, do people suck, bro?
There's some people that suck, and I'm sure I've sucked in my lifetime too. So,
How do you handle people at work that you just can't stand, but you have to be around them?
oh man, it's funny you bring this up. I'm known that the guy at the shop that's always smiling and happy and whatnot. And we bring in contractors for outage. We're talking, there's over 4,000 people that work out here during an outage, and we bring in a lot of outside help. And there's this particular guy that he's just an older gentleman that's really, stuck in his ways. And it's just like, there's only one way to skin a cat in his mind. And I've had to work with him the last couple outages. And I literally was running this job this year, and they were all working for me. And I called my wife that morning, and I was like, babe, just pray for me. Pray for patience.
Yeah.
Pray for understanding, and pray for my tongue, and just pray for me. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I call my wife. I messed up. So, we were just doing a brief, and he started in his old antics, and I closed my binder, and I turned around and looked at him. I was like, look, we're not doing this outage. I'm not dealing with your attitude. I'm not dealing with any of this. And I was rude about it, and it bothered me. I called my wife, and I was like, I screwed up. And I pulled him aside later that day and apologized to him. And was like, man, I messed up. I shouldn't have, reacted that way. And all that. The poor guy, I thought we squashed it, but I found out yesterday he went all outage thinking I was still upset with him when I wasn't. And then he pulled me aside. It was his last day. He's like, man, I just want to make sure that we're good. We had to get out. I was like, man, yeah, we squashed that a long time ago. And, I'm sorry that I reacted that way, but your words could really, really bother people, and it could eat at them. Even if you think you squashed it, they still think about it. So we all have our weak moments, but you got to own it.
Squashing things are so important. And this is why I think with the youth, I tend to kind of want to push hard conversations right away, because you are going to face this in the work field. You're going to face it in your marriage. You're going to face it with family, with mom and dad sometimes. And here's the thing that you brought up was, I still believe prayer was interceding on your behalf, that your wife prayed for, because of that circumstance of, man, I messed up. You realized, man, you wouldn't have realized that. You would want to say something and been like, I felt like I was right by saying something, and walked off. But prayer convicted you and go, I need right away to go confess it, and then I need to go squash it. Prayer, interceding with prayer. And Bryce, you brought up prayer. When you have a detailed prayer life, when you seek out prayer, even when it's like it doesn't go your way, but you're quickly to bounce back. You're quicker to bounce back. And you're quicker to notice of like, I was taught this, to go to that person and go, if I was offended by somebody, I was taught to go, all right, when you said that, and really, I think this is important. Like, did you really feel the way you felt when you said that? Or did you mean the way, okay, you did? Well, let's talk about why. How could I have been better in that situation for you? And how could I not offend you in this situation instead of it going like, well, I'm just going to walk on eggshells the whole time. But with prayer, it opens up opportunity for you to say those things, to be the bigger person even in the situation. And the fact that they still came back to you and was like, man, I like you and I'm leaving. I may never talk to you again, but I want to leave on good terms with you. And that's the power of prayer and God moving, because the guy, and I believe this, came to Shupe and said, hey, I may never see him around, but I want to leave on good terms with you because there's something about you. So for all of us, it's how we leave a job site, how we leave our schools, how we leave our teams. Like, how do we want to be remembered? That one kid that was always fighting with coach or talking back or had his head down, or like, oh no, they're going to remember how you bounce back. Yeah. You may think, oh, I've messed up so much, or I did this, but your actions to like, I'm still going to outwork. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to leave an impact going, man, I want people to remember how I responded. And they'll remember how you respond if it was poor or if it was done well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
leave people with a reason to why are you the way you are. I think that's the biggest thing. Give somebody a reason to say why, and have a response ready to go. And I think that's so powerful. I think we always got to have a response of why we are the way we are. Hey, top 3 Christian artists. That's what I want to know out of this group, okay? I want to know your top 3 Christian artists.
Ooh.
And I'll start Newsboys, okay? That's a joke. Put an LOL in the chat, okay? I said LOL, not ha-has. LOL.
So where does Geo rank for you?
Oh, this is tough. Okay, so here's what I would say. Here's my top 3. Can we go 5? Is 5 okay with you guys?
Yeah,
I
top
can't-
five.
I'm not going to go in order besides 1. Andy Minio's number 1, okay? Andy
I can
Minio's
agree
number
with you
1.
on that. Okay.
I'm going to put, and I'm saying artist, so it's not like specific genre. I'm going to go in the top 5. I'm going to put, oh my gosh, dude, I forgot the band name. I remember the album name,
Social
Fading
Club
West.
Misfits?
What is the band name? Switchfoot. Thank you so much. Switchfoot's in there. Andy Minio. Social Club Misfits, I would put in there.
Fern.
That's Social Club Misfits. I'm gonna put them as a group. And then I would throw in. Dang, I got 3. I got 2 more. I know there's 2 more in there. Why can't I think of 2 more?
Where's Gavin the Hot Rod on that list?
Gavin Hot Rod didn't crack open the top 5. Sorry, bro. Gosh, I would say. I got 3 right now. Let me come back to you with the next 2. I'm the one with the segment, and I totally forgot my last 2. But I got Andy Minio.
You moved it to 5.
Switchfoot. I did move it to 5. This is why I'm a terrible host. Andy Minio, Switchfoot, and Social Club Misfits. That's
Do you have no wordplay on there?
that's my 3. Oh, Wordsplay's 4. Okay, Wordplay would be 4. Thank you, G. Appreciate it. I'll find the 5th one here in a minute.
No Lecrae?
No, he didn't crack my top 5. I'm sorry, Lecrae.
John Keith?
Dear Lord, no. Bryce, what are yours?
So I'm really bad at this. I don't know artists very well. But what I like to do is I like to listen to mainstream artists who do.
Dude, that doesn't count. You can't do Christian-based music that are mainstream. This is
Probably
Christian
listen to
artists,
Jelly
bro.
Roll.
Okay, well, I don't
Jelly
know
Roll on
most of them. You want me to be like, okay, Forrest Frank is number 1. Definitely number 1.
Oh, Hills Church Worship, dude. That's number 5.
What's their Spotify again?
Can I put that? Hills Church Worship. Chad Daniels thoughts. And Chrissy
no rate.
sometimes.
Chad Stotts.
And then I'm really bad about remembering all this stuff, but like I guess Elevation Worship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
No, that was good. She was excited for you. Sorry.
Okay. Geo.
Lava, 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 chicken, 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 Steve, lava chicken. Dude, Jack Black is in the top 6.
No. Jack Black's a Democrat.
Bro, why do we always go this way with you? Dude?
And then I don't know my 5th one.
Who are the 4 again?
So that would be
Elevation Worship, Hills Church.
Hills Church, Forrest Frank, Geo, and
Oh.
Geo cracked your top 5?
Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah. I suck at remembering names.
Vaughn
and
missed Indie
artists.
Tribe. You don't
I
like
would.
Indie Tribe?
That would be too hype train for me to do Indie Tribe right now. For you, it makes sense, but for me, I've been around a little bit.
They're not on my top 5.
31 years around. 31 trips around the sun.
Yeah, Shupe is at 52. All right, what do you got, G?
Andy Minio. Okay.
It's in the house.
You're so cool, Vaughn.
Thank you.
Gavin the Hot Rod, I would say. Marty.
Just Marty?
Just Marty.
Okay.
Marty. Marty's new music, to be exact.
He's popping off.
Yeah.
Gazal.
Well, he gets his phone to look at things.
Where's your phone at, Bryce?
It's being used to record.
We got
This is why his top 5 is all janky. He's just looking at his most recent.
No,
Like,
I'm looking at my workout.
go off your
playlist.
heart, dude.
I'm
Go off your
looking
heart.
at my workout playlist.
See, like the.
C.
Okay.
Like
I like.
All right, Pablo or Escobar. Whatever
It
his
was
name was.
Juan.
let's say Gavin the Hot Rod.
You said that.
I already said that. Is Green Day on there?
Green Day. Definitely not, bro. When September ends.
Christopher Sincere. He's actually put out good music lately.
Okay.
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 And No Big Deal.
Okay. Okay, I have my fifth. That made me think of it. The Killers. Okay, that's my fifth one. Thank you so much.
Okay.
They're not
Killers are
Yes,
good.
they are. Yes, they are a Christian band. They're a mainstream Christian band.
Whoa. If you get to put, like, I like listening to like,
Miley Cyrus had a good Christian song. Right?
No,
Oh,
like-
no. Lil Nas X had a Christian worship song.
okay, like
Oh man.
Started out
Tyler-
with a kiss. Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler Childers had his Christian playlist. Jelly Roll had his Christian playlist.
Okay.
Carrie Underwood had her Christian playlist. Speaking of which, did you guys?
You're a
listen to
basic
her?
white girl, Bryce. Carrie Underwood. He just dropped a Carrie Underwood in his top. Sorry, dude. That was mean.
You guys hear how great thou art on?
Sing the first couple lyrics to How Great Thou Art.
I can't.
How great thou art. That's all you need
That's
to
literally
say.
it. But she did. What are you doing?
What's your favorite song?
Get the phone off of the mic, G.
Anyway, but like on her American Idol, because you know she's a judge now, she did "How Great Thou Art" on their Easter special.
Okay.
And it was like probably one of the greatest things I've like watched, like because it almost makes you feel like our culture is healing. That American Idol did an Easter worship set.
Dude, that is such a deep thought, bro. I wasn't trying to laugh at you, but like you hit me with like that's the world's mending. You really going that far to say that?
Well, I'm saying that all of their contestants did a worship set.
Yeah, I watched
Jelly
it.
Roll and Carrie Underwood both did songs.
Jelly Roll has tattoos on his face. He is not a Christian. That's a joke. Dude, I'm joking,
I know,
Bryce.
I'm kidding.
Golly,
I'm
bro.
kidding.
All right. Speaking of tattoos, before we get Shoops, could you tell us about your tattoos real quick on one of your arms? Do you have you have two, right?
Yeah, I got two.
What's the one? What's the other one? What's the other one? That one. Yeah.
So that is my mom's. I guess I got it with my siblings. For my mom, it's her.
Gotcha.
I don't even know what you call it. It looks like the Coors Mountains.
Oh, is that like is that a new one?
No, that's not new. That's I got that a handful of years ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got it. Oh man,
You're in
back
Farmington?
in 2018.
Man, I don't pay attention very well.
So,
One of my
and,
first
then I got
experiences with Shoop was Christmas.
I was in fourth.
Christmas youth party.
oh yeah, dude,
Oh,
Christmas Eve party was fun.
At
That was
Vaughn's
fun.
house?
What was the other one you
Yeah,
showed me?
that was fun. This one I got with my brother. Proverbs 17:17. You know, about basically brothers love. I butcher the verse every time.
You're fine.
So
That's
look
the
it up.
newer one. That's the newer one.
Proverbs 17:17. Yeah,
Proverbs
Him and
17:17.
I have it.
Graham, drop it
Yeah,
right
it's
here.
basically. Yeah, let's hear it. It's pretty bad. I got it tattooed on my arm and I don't have it memorized.
It's all good, dude.
So,
It's all good. What's your top 10 Christian artists?
Top five. I would have to say Forrest Frank is my number one.
Okay, here we go. Hype Beast Award of the year goes to David
Are you going
Shupe.
to the Forrest
Dude.
Frank concert in
Dude,
Phoenix?
dude, yes, I want to, but I'm working. Oh, I'm really
It's sold
bummed
out.
that. I know. Well, we were looking at tickets, but I'm right in the middle of outage, so
Oh,
couldn't go to it. And then I would say Sean Rodriguez.
Who?
Look up "House of God" by Sean Rodriguez.
I got this right now.
The house of the Lord.
All right,
we
and
know
then
the God.
Josiah Queen.
Josiah
I like some
Queen.
Josiah Queen. Yeah, I like some Hendrick, and I like some Brandon Lake. So
By Sean Rodriguez.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah. House of God by
Josiah
Sean
Queen was
Rodriguez.
supposed to be at Rush Conference last year, but his tour dates
No
didn't
way,
add up. Yep.
dude.
We were a year behind Forrest Frank. He was too big for us with it when we asked him last year, but everyone was telling me to get him the year before, and I said no, I'm not like this guy. Not legit, and then he ends up popping off like so much. I'm like, that's the one I missed. But Gio, Henrik, and then we got Marty and Bodie. It's
Hey,
insane,
you
dude.
ready?
Here we go.
Is he playing something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently.
Wherever we're from, whatever we've done, we leave our difference at the door. No matter what's wrong, how far that we've run, there's
I like that. That's cool. Is he from a worship? Like, is he like a church collective?
Yeah, more of a worship background. That's kind of so. It's funny because I'll listen to some hip hop, Christian, and all that. And my wife is like, what do you listen to that hip hop crap for?
Wow.
Or crap rap.
Hey, I mean, that's fair enough.
Wow.
I don't usually listen to that stuff either.
But I will say, my wife comes, her voice is phenomenal, and I wish she would sing me to sleep every night. But
dude, you are a big baby, so you could have that happen to you.
I am, dude. She knows it, dude. When I get tired or sick, I am a big baby.
That's the guy.
She's like, I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, my bad.
You are,
dude.
What's up?
No, I just wanted to say something to G about the Connie Mack thing, man.
Go for it.
This was the first one I missed, and I was so bummed that SoCal. I was so stoked, and SoCal won it. But one of the coolest things was old Tim. He FaceTimed me during their celebration. It was one of the coolest things.
Are you for real? That is so cool.
Yeah.
I was at Rush Conference when they won. I was so mad. I was watching the Game Changer too. It was in the middle of Chad's message. I remember that.
I was on it. I was on a date with my wife, and he FaceTimed me, and I just couldn't believe that they won. It was really cool. I stayed in contact with Tim. He's a good dude. He's trying to do a lot for Farmington. So
Tim's the best.
See,
I love Tim.
That's what's cool. That's what you're talking about. Like he was in the middle of his celebration and thought about you guys. Like that's incredible. Like that's so cool.
Yeah,
They always hook me up every
I
day.
do that.
I do.
Dude, you're a dad of now how many girls?
4. I got 4 girls, and I don't think God just wanted any boys in my life, but these girls keep me on my toes.
No Project Shohei Ohtani?
No. So they're so sweet. They're so loving. They're so kind, and they're such a handful. But they break my heart all the time because they just break. The reason I went to Minecraft is she's 6, and I call them. I'm gone at 4:30 in the morning. So by the time they get up, they think I go to work at nighttime. So I call them, and I was talking to them when they're on their way to school, and Thea goes, she calls me Dad sometimes. She calls me David, and it's like whatever, And she's like, David, I really miss you. I really want you to come home. And I'm like, oh man, that stings. And then I start telling my wife, so let's go to the movie. Let's go watch Minecraft. I'm like, what's Minecraft? And she told me about it. And she's like, it's got Jack Black. And I was like, all right, I've watched a few of his movies. It should be funny. And I forgot how stupid it is. Like, I'm sitting there. All of our theaters had the recliner chairs, and my wife hates me going to the movies because I fall asleep. But it was so stupid that I couldn't fall asleep.
This is a Jack Black movie. That's like the whole,
that's all
the whole
it is.
movie.
That's all he does. That's all he does.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
like the scene where they're flying through him.
Oh, dude, the sandwich, bro. The sandwich. That was hilarious. Come on, dude.
Nose to toes.
Oh, bro. That was wild. Shoot, what is your encouragement? You being a dad of 4 girls and 1 in youth group, how do you encourage your daughter to navigate the gospel and being a young lady and being in this crazy world?
On it, see, that's the hard thing for me. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Sure.
Because I work with the boys. I work with the teen boys. And, one thing I've learned about Kaylee and teenager, that girls really are, a lot of them deal with image. They really worry about their image, and so do the teen boys. And my encouragement to them is it'll always be community. Who are your friends? Like, encourage people to come to church, but then, like Bryce was saying, you can't be 3 different people. And we're kind of, I love my daughter. She's doing great, but she's kind of experiencing that right now. We're kind of navigating some seasons. She's not immune to it, and none of these other teens are. We're struggling with identity.
Say that louder. Not immune to it. Yeah, I love that.
So we're dealing with our own, struggles, and I just encourage them to keep the faith. Don't run from God, run to God. Don't be ashamed of where you're at. Don't be ashamed of what you're going through, and be honest about it. It's easy to, beat around the bush. It's easy to not tell the truth, but ultimately the truth will come out. And ultimately us as parents, and this, Vaughn, you already know the truth before the kids tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You're just waiting to see if they're going to tell you the truth.
Your toddlers lie.
So
no, you youth kids.
no, they're
we lie to
perfect.
you all the time.
I'm talking about you.
Yeah, Zion and Eden, dude, they're not messed up yet.
Bro, they threw pancakes at my face the other
What
day.
about her in sports? She's a big softball player. She's a big athlete. How does she handle that?
Honestly,
How do you handle that one?
we've taken a break. We've taken a break from softball. It's
Really?
been a totally different life down here. We're trying. Club sports is a lot more expensive down here, and where we live, it's so far away. And my wife owns her own business, so I'm working these outages, so that's kind of slowed down. But she's taken up volleyball. She's the school she went to last year when we first moved out here was a very tough move for her. They were very relaxed, and she's a kid that needs structure. You give her an inch, she'll take a mile sometimes. She needs structure in her life, and she struggled in school. She was C's and D's and sometimes F's, and she made the high school softball team as a middle schooler, and it really got to her. It really got to her head, and but then ultimately she didn't make the team because I wouldn't allow her, a sixth grader, to play high school. The state stepped in and said, no, we can't have that.
A sixth grader in high school sports is insane.
Yeah, she loves it. But then we moved schools, a stricter school, and it's just constantly preaching to her, like, you got to be a leader. She sometimes, I think a lot of kids struggle with it, being followers. But she's navigating it. She's got straight A's for most of this year.
Let's go.
And she's really turned it around, and then she fell in love with volleyball this year, and she made A team her first year playing volleyball for middle school. And so she's finding these different loves. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not as easy as it was in Farmington with sports, because there in Farmington, as you guys know, there's multiple facilities within a 10-minute range.
You have to drive, yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy, I think, because we live in a big city, but where we live 15 minutes from the closest gas station out off I-10, We're out in the middle of nowhere just because it's between my work and my wife owns her own business, like I said. And so you're trying to balance things with 4 different girls, and they're all their different interests. We're very involved in our church and our community and youth. It's sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit. So we're sticking to school sports right now.
Okay, hot topic buzzer question. I didn't prep you for this. And Shupe, I'm not going to judge you with this, okay? But I need to get some parents watching this video.
All right.
Ground your kids from youth ministry. Yes or no?
No.
Why?
No. It's funny you asked this, because my wife and I talked about this, because we're both on the same page. We will never ground them from youth ministry, because that's where they grow. That's where they learn. That's where, to whatever they got grounded for, this is an opportunity for them to learn and get tools. So my biggest thing with youth ministry is, yes, we need to teach the Bible and we need to be biblical. But are we here just to teach the stories of the Bible? Or are we here to help these kids through situations they're facing through life, and how to use the Bible to apply that, and how to apply it to their life in the future?
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. So I am totally against grounding your kids from youth ministry.
So where's the accountability with your kid, making sure that they're learning from the problem at youth? How would you hold your daughter accountable to a situation like, hey, this is a groundable offense, but we're still going to let you go to youth. You're going to still see your friends, but like, how are you going to see a result from it, do you think?
I don't know if I'd be too harsh, but there would be a conversation with the youth pastor and being like, hey, this is, and it's about being accountable, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there and blab it to all your friends and everything, but the leaders will know. And if it's not maybe grounding you from youth, but hey, maybe you don't get to partake in the fun activities, like the hanging out and the fun there. But then, hey, what'd you take? Being more intentional about, hey, what'd you learn at youth tonight?
Yeah.
What'd you talk about? And having people at youth to help them be accountable. And I think that's what HillsYTH does so well is there's a lot of kids there that help hold each other accountable. Accountability is huge. And if you're going to ground them from that, they're not going to gain that. I think I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I mean, you start grounding kids you're essentially grounding them from God, in my opinion, because that's a chance for them to grow and learn and the kids respond differently to an AA Ron, a Bryce, than they do their parents.
And it's true. And like my mom, like it's so frustrating. Like I would my mom would tell me something, but then a coach would say something. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And I'd go home and say like, man, I learned and navigated this. I literally just said that. And I would drive my parents nuts.
That's really funny. Cause like when I was talking about going to college, before I ultimately decided not to go, my mom was super big on like, you need to stay in state. We need to look at the cheapest schools that we can.
You do the extreme opposite.
UNM is probably where we're going to go. I got accepted to a school in Nashville.
Yeah, that was a big one for you.
It was,
Hey,
and they offered.
Nashville is amazing.
It is amazing. It was a private Christian school that costed about $90,000.
Chunk change.
Ooh.
So
Feet pics, sell them.
Hey, pull out that credit card, bro. Pull out that credit card.
But it was really just a battle between me and my parents because my parents are very like, you need to be self-sufficient and like. We'll buy you groceries, but you are paying for the schooling.
Okay.
So it was like that. And so my mom and my dad would sit down and talk to me, and my dad would go over like financial, like what are we going to do? And my mom would be, I'm sure that I've given my mom a whole bunch of gray hairs because she's like, you're going to be 20 hours away. What's going to happen?
She's done all the calculations for distance.
She's like, you're going to be so lonely. You're not going to make any friends. And I'm just sitting there like, why are you guys doing this? My cousin, my older cousin came back from Texas for a week during the summer not during the summer, but during the fall for a break. And he sat me down at my.
Is this Kyle's kid?
Yeah. And he sat me down and he was like, hey, so I just want you to know, I think you should follow what you want to do.
Follow your heart.
I think you should follow your heart, and I think you should follow what God's telling you to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, student loans are not fun.
Ooh.
And like, if I could go back, he went to Texas Tech. He's like, he won amazing scholarships. But he told me if I could go back, I would stay in state. And I was like, oh wow. So I literally go up to my parents. I'm like, hey guys, so I think I'm going to apply to UNM. And my mom is like freaking out. My dad's pointing at her like, I told you.
Dude, I took Bryce to Central. Like we just did a drive, like to hang around. We did a podcast in Albuquerque. It's 3 hours away from here. For people that don't know, from Farmington where we live.
Gasoline.
And I was like, Bryce, Bryce, check this out. This dude was guzzling gasoline straight out of the gas. The gas can. I was like, Bryce, welcome to UNM, bro. What's popping over here?
Or there was when we were going downtown, and Christy. So there's 4 teenage boys in the car and Vaughn, which is basically just a bigger teenage boy. And poor Christy, she's like, oh my goodness, don't look to your left.
Everybody looks
to the left as all these hookers are getting out of this limo. And Christy's just face palming herself like I'm just surrounded by idiots.
And I'm looking right, and I'm driving the car straight ahead. So I'm like, I'm not looking at whatever she said not to. Graham's face is imprinted on the glass. Whoa! Oh my gosh, what a pervert, dude.
And then dinner.
Oh, talk about it.
Frontier?
Oh yeah, dude, the dinner Frontier. We sat right on.
Almost got stuck up.
Right by the entrance, and there's characters left and right coming in and out of Frontier. And this is at like late at night. Bryce's parents are watching 8 p.m. and they're walking in the door, and Bryce is there just like this. He's in Farmington, right? He knows about things, but like he's been in Farmington, and he's just. Like people, homeless like, people, sketchy people, police is walking in and out. And he's like, am I about to get abducted right now? Am I in the middle of a drug?
There was this guy that came in and he was standing right behind me and I think Zeke.
Yeah, like he was standing at the ATM. Right
he was standing at the ATM. I'm like, I'm about to feel a gun be pressed against my head, for money and all this. And then it wasn't even a cop. It was a bot. So, security guard, because
like
in Albuquerque,
the security guards that have the guns.
Dude,
yeah, security guards.
Paul Blart Mall Cop, dude, come on, straight out.
And this guy comes in, grabs the guy, and points to the 4 of us and is like, "Don't do drugs,
It
kids."
looks straight out of a movie, bro. That looks straight out of a movie. That's
Dude,
something Will Smith would say.
You
dude.
guys recently. Go ahead.
I was like, I don't miss Albuquerque. I'll be honest with you. I mean, even in Phoenix, like everywhere we go, we kind of stay away from out of it. I mean, but here you got to watch out for the driverless cars, and that's probably the most dangerous thing.
Oh yeah, what's that like?
Dude, just send your kids in the driverless cars. I was going to say that.
We actually drove. So after our wedding, we stayed in Scottsdale, and we went to dinner at this place called Salt Cellar, and it's an underground seafood place. And I was like, we got an Uber there, and I kept bugging my wife all night. I was like, I want to get a Waymo. I like, and she's like, no, that's stupid. Like, I don't want to go in that car. And I was like, please, just one time. Let's just do Waymo one time. So I did, and I ordered it on my app, and it's like, be there in 2 minutes. And we go outside. Here comes a car. It goes past us. It makes a U-turn. We're standing here, and it stops at a certain point way down the road. I'm like, well, there's our ride. We get in, we sit down, we buckle up, and there's this automated thing. There's nobody in the driver's seat. And it's just sitting there, like, explaining the ride, like, buckle up, we're safe, all this. And it shifts it into gear. Yeah, it shifts it into gear, and we have to go cross traffic. And my wife was, like, sitting there all nervous, and it accelerates. Like, it accelerates. It's a Jaguar. And I'm looking, and there's nobody in the seat. And I'm like, what is this? Like, it was very nerve-wracking. And then the cameras, like, once we got done, like, the cameras popped up with all the sensors. You could see live all the cars around them, and including people's garages. And I don't think I'll ever do it again. Like, it was pretty
How long
sketch.
until people learn to hack those things?
Dude.
They already do.
Oh, man. They probably already do.
Bro, they have natural hackers. I was in the passenger seat of my car, and this guy walked in and said, "Hey, don't be scared. We'll be all right," and just drove off with me in the car. You know, that's that's the Uber in Albuquerque. Oh, we're going places.
Yeah.
How did we end up in Mexico?
Hey, real quick, I want to give you a shout out, Vaughn. I forgot to tell you this, but you were a fan favorite at my wedding.
What?
Everybody loved you. Yeah, everybody loved you. You did a good job. So.
Thanks, bro.
If I was
I
there,
need
I would
to.
have been the fan favorite.
Honored. I appreciate that.
Dude, you
I
would've
know.
just been another Mexican.
G chose baseball.
See, okay, going back to that comment about people being grounded, I've never seen a kid go, "Hey, you're not going to go play at your high school game tonight. He's grounded." Never seen that before.
Nope.
Never seen that. But church, listen, God will back me on this.
Hear me out.
Oh, you're going pro, kid.
That's the thing. Like, I think people are so focused on sports and it's the achievement and living through their kids that they forget. Sorry, I may have hit a little sort of subject. But I'm just one of those deals. Like, I don't want to get into it, but
come on.
Name drop.
Name drop.
I'm not name dropping.
Chad Stotts. I don't know. I'm just naming names.
Farmington don't even do sports.
I really don't have a relationship with my dad anymore because of this. Like, he really, I'm not going to go into detail. I shouldn't do that. So anyway, people that live through their kids and push them and live through them and live through their accomplishments before they know it. Their kids hate the sport they're doing, hate the love. And you're right. They'll never ground them from that, but they'll ground them from church. They won't let them go to youth conference. They won't let them go to camp when in reality, it's totally backwards.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are they going to get long-term from sports but what are they going to get from God?
That's a word.
And it's just, that's where I feel like right now, like, I was pushing Kaylee really hard in softball because she wanted it. Like, I wasn't living through it, but it consumed our life so much that she legitimately didn't want to play anymore.
Oh.
Because it was year round. And so like I said, we stepped back and just doing school sports and doing other things, enjoying life. We're traveling. We don't get our kids a lot of gifts for Christmas. We do events. We do experiences. We took them to Gatlinburg, Tennessee this year for Christmas. We'd rather do that type of stuff. And if they want to buy the extra stuff, they can use the Christmas money they get from their grandparents. Like, they want to buy that stuff, like, they do it. But yeah, we don't believe in grounding from anything God related.
And there's certain families that they'll spend their vacations are intertwined with the travel sports, and kudos to those families. And that's what they do, and they're healthy. But when it becomes unhealthy, right, when you try to live through your kids instead of it being about the kids, that's when it becomes a problem. I will say this: one of my things though for marriage, and this was the thing I was going to die on. My wife had to be a Broncos fan. I wasn't going to marry somebody listen, Shupe, you might be in a different situation. And my kids.
I am.
Oh, no. Okay, see, you need to have boundaries, and you need to lay them out now while you can. Dude.
No, my wife is a Broncos fan because of Tim Tebow. That is the only reason.
Oh, that's the only Golly. You won one playoff game. Okay, dude. Bo Nix will do that. He's already been to the playoffs.
Like, we're going to the Dodgers and D-backs game with some friends from church. Guess who's the only Diamondbacks fan?
You.
This guy.
Yeah, see that? What is it? I literally went to spring training to watch the Rockies, which, by the way, the Cactus League champions, and then they win 4 games so far out of 24.
4 and 20.
I mean, 24 losses and 4 wins, dude. We're going to the freaking World Series.
Worse than the White Sox already.
My kids are Broncos fans. They're Nuggets fans. They're Avs fans. You got to raise them up right, man.
I don't even know what they're.
Oh, they know. They know what they're doing. They're cheering it now.
Because you forced them to. I've seen them on Sunday.
They're held at gunpoint by Orby guns, okay? They, you know what I'm saying? By the way, those things hurt. I was shot by an Orby gun at full capacity by Weston the other day.
Yep.
Those need to be illegal. That's what I'm saying right there.
Hey, remember the other night?
You ever been shot by one of those, Shupe, an Orby's gun?
Zeke who got like
No, but remember at Rush when we had the paintball guns turned up too high?
Oh, dude. I was watching one. You ever watch those YouTube Chronicle videos on YouTube? And they, dude, and the one kid fell out of the tree and ripped his manhood apart.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, I'd be fired.
Remember the other night?
Oh,
When we ran up your house with the Orby guns?
dude, they had the cops show up at my house because of these Orby guns.
Six of them.
So, dude, a neighbor called the cops, and these guys left because they were chasing me around with the Orby guns. All of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, I see blue and red flashing lights outside my window. I was cracking up because I'm like, no stinking way were the cops just SWAT team rolling up to my house right now. And literally, I get a knock on the door. I open the door, and I'm laughing. And there's these cops with the flashlights, and then another one going, "Are you Vaughn?" And I know this person knew who I was, but they can't do that. They have to ask, "I'm Vaughn, yes." Like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine." I was chased by a bunch of youth group kids with Orby guns, and they were shooting me with the Orbeez at my house. And this dude, so I had a pumpkin on Halloween that I let kind of melt, and it stained on my front porch. And the dude kept flashing his light at the pumpkin, looking at me with the light. I want to say, dude, that's not blood on the ground, dude. That's just pumpkin juice stain. He was concerned about that. And they're like, "All right, everything good?" She looked at the pumpkin stain, and I said, that's a pumpkin. I have a whole Ring doorbell video of this whole thing, and I'm just laughing.
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
No way this is happening. No, we're good. But, yeah, man. But, hey, I appreciate you coming on. I know it's been a long day for you,
sure.
a few days. But Shupe, you're the man, and dude, we were looking forward to this conversation. Any next words from you guys?
It's been exciting getting ready to do this with you. Just going through, like, I've learned so much. I've had 5 not 5 youth pastors. I've had 5 life group leaders, and I've learning something so unique from each one, and each one having that impact on my life. I've had Vaughn twice. He got rid of me 2 times. He gave me to you once and Chad the other time because he couldn't handle
It was better off that way.
Yeah, no.
Things just weren't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. But just learning, like taking the things that you taught me as a sophomore and applying them now, especially being more spiritual, like it's a great thing. And just seeing like from your stories, like everything that you're doing down there in Phoenix. Yeah, it sucks that you're not up here anymore, but we're so happy to see what you're doing down there and all the lives that you're influencing.
Yep.
And getting connected down there and growing your church down there. So
Appreciate that, bro. I definitely miss you guys, and gotta hook up sometime. I'm not sure next time I'll be able to get up there, but anytime you guys are down in the valley, just hit me up.
Oh, we will, because I'll be down there again. I love visiting. I loved Westgate. We stayed at Westgate, and we stayed at one of the lofts, and it was an amazing time. G, you have nothing nice to say?
I'll be in Phoenix on May 26th, 27th, 28th. Just so you know.
Bro,
What?
Wait, what days? 25th?
It's his honeymoon.
The 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Well, I mentioned that barbecue. It's a youth barbecue at my house on the 25th.
They're
I'm
gonna
pulling
hate
up.
him.
I'm pulling up.
Dude,
They're gonna hate him. They're gonna be like, "Who is this weirdo?"
bro.
They're Dodgers fans. They're I got the dudes coming over with me. They're gonna ride with me back from church. So
Dude.
If this is a room.
Wait. What time is it at?
A room of G's.
5:30.
Ooh, okay. I'll put it in my
Tell your
calendar.
madre to get you there.
We're leaving at like 3 in the morning on Sunday.
Well, you can't make it?
Yeah.
What?
I'd leave at 3 in the morning.
Do you have anything planned Sunday?
No, we're gonna go to a concert there, and we're gonna go watch Paul Skeens pitch.
No, your plans are freaking bacon wrapped Oreos. That is what your
bring me
plans
back
are,
some?
dude.
And that,
On
yeah.
Sunday.
On Sunday.
Oh, on
On
Sunday
Sunday.
we don't have
Any-
plans. No.
All right, so I could even, on our way back from church, be like, hey, bro, I could pick you up, meet you on the way by, and then your mom can pick you up later.
Ooh, dude.
Wait.
my
Where do you
God.
live?
Buckeye.
Buckeye.
It's not that far out from
I live
How far is that from Glendale?
about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Cake,
Okay.
bro.
Okay, I'll put it in my
Yeah.
reminders. Tell my mom.
All right, you better.
Dude, I
Let
drove
me
by-
know. Hey.
Huh?
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, I just heard all the kiddos and everything, so it's almost our bedtime.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Let me get you out of here. All right, dude. Love you, man. Appreciate you. You
Thank
do your
you.
thing. Go say
Hey.
bye to your kids, okay?
Love you guys.
Later.
Later,
Thank
bro.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, guys. That episode was phenomenal. Bryce and G left me. This is awkward. It's just me here. You guys are just hanging around, huh? This is like the end credits to like a Marvel movie, and we don't really have anything else to tell you. Oh, you're still there? Okay. What news should we break to them? Rush Conference is coming up. If you're not registered for Rush Conference, you got to register for this, all right? If you're watching this in 2028, I don't know if Rush Conference is still happening right now. Bryce is the new youth pastor in 2028, I guess.
I'll still be in the army.
Bryce is back there. Yeah, he'll still be in the army. That's true. G is currently, this is 2028. G is, Bryce, Bryce, hold back. Bryce, G is actually running for governor.
Graduating.
He's graduating. I thought you were older than that. Oh, you're still watching? Well, thanks for clicking play. Smash that like button. That's like 2010s. Like, why can't we just be like normal people and buy all of our likes and subscribers, and it would just make life a lot easier, right? You know what I'm saying? They're going to cut me off at some point. I'm hoping. Are we going to cut me off? I'm just going to keep rambling on. Make sure to...